Hello, thanks for joining today's webinar. You can enlarge your screen for the optimal viewing experience using these buttons. You can also click the arrow here to view the hidden menu. The section at the very bottom will twirl out a menu that allows you to ask questions for the host to answer. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoy this webinar.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany and I am the product manager of TaxBandits, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about preparing your business for your year-end reporting. So if you just want to come on this journey with me, I'll show you how we can help you with that. Today's agenda is really simple. We're just going to go through TaxBandits really quickly. So for year-end deadlines for small businesses, everybody needs to know when those deadlines are. The introduction to TaxBandits, forms supported by TaxBandits, and there are quite a few. Starting your tax season right, tips and tricks, TaxBandits solutions, TaxBandits 1099 demo, and our Q&A. So first, we're going to get to know your deadlines for your employees, and that is also our first form, Form W-2. The Form W-2 is a vital information form used to report wages, taxes withheld, and other pertinent financial information for employees. To the deadline to e-file a W-2 with the Social Security Administration or the SSA is January 31st. It will be on January 31st in 2025 for the 2024 tax year. The deadline to distribute those recipient copies to your employees is also January 1st of 2025. For the 1099 series, we do support a lot of those 1099 forms, but we're going to be focusing on the 1099 NEC and the miscellaneous today, as those are the most frequently used in January. So the 1099 series, there are so many of them, and these two are the most common. So for the 1099 NEC, or the non-employee compensation, it will include payments for freelancers, contractors, and other non-employee service providers. The deadline to e-file those 1099 NECs with the IRS is January 31st of 2025, and the deadline to distribute those recipient copies is January 31st of 2025 as well. The other most popular 1099 is the 1099 miscellaneous, and this is an information return used to report various types of income, such as payments for services performed by individuals who are not employees, rent, and other miscellaneous income. The deadline to e-file that is March 31st of 2025, and the deadline to distribute the recipient copies is January 31st of 2025. Another big form in January is the 94X series forms. So we'll start with the 941. This is the employer's quarterly federal tax return, and it's used to report income taxes, Social Security taxes, and Medicare tax withheld from employee wages. It also includes the employer's portion of Social Security and Medicare taxes. The deadline to file Form 941 for the fourth quarter of 2024 is January 31st of 2025. Form 940 is the employer's annual federal unemployment or FUTA tax return. It's used by employers to report and pay their annual federal unemployment tax. The deadline to file the 940 is January 31st of 2025. The Form 945 is an annual return of withheld federal income tax. It's used by employers to report federal income tax withheld from non-payroll payments, such as pensions, annuities, gambling winnings, etc. The deadline to file 945 is January 31st of 2025. TaxBandits, your trusted e-file partner. Span Enterprises is the parent company of TaxBandits and has successfully been e-filing forms for 15 years with the IRS, SSA, and state agencies. TaxBandits has experience processing millions of forms and was the first provider to get certification with the IRS platform and be part of the control launch. We are FinCEN certified for BOI reporting. We have expertise with the following e-file platforms: FIRE, or FIRE, MEF, or MEF, AIR, AIR, EFW2 with the SSA, BSA, eFast2, or DOL. Here's an overview of TaxBandits. We have many forms, over 40 forms. We do 1099 e-filing, W-2 e-filing, 94X e-filing, ACA 1095 e-filing, W-9 managing. We just launched EFTPS, and we have payroll coming soon. The forms supported by TaxBandits are the 1099 series forms. You've got the 1099 miscellaneous, the 1099 non-employee compensation, or the NEC, the 1099 INT for interest income, the 1099 DIV for dividends and distributions, the 1099-R, distributions from pensions, annuities, retirement, or profit-sharing plans, IRAs, insurance contracts, etc. The 1099-B is proceeds from broker and barter exchange transactions. 1099-S, proceeds from real estate transactions. The 1099-K, payment card and third-party network transactions. Some additional forms that we also have are the 1098 forms, the 1098, the 1098-T, and the 1098-E. The W-2 forms, SSA and BSO. Wage and tax statements. The W-2 PR for Puerto Rico withholding statements. The W-2G for certain gambling winnings. The 1042 annual withholding tax return for U.S. source income of foreign persons. The 1042S, the foreign person's U.S. source income subject to withholding. The 3921, exercise of an incentive stock option under Section 422B. The 3922, transfer of stock acquired through an employee's stock purchase plan under Section 423C. 5498 forms, such as the 5498, the 5498 ESA, the 5498 SA, as well as payroll forms that go through IRS and MEF. Payroll forms, the 941, SP, SS, and Form 941 Schedule R, employers' quarterly federal tax returns, the Form 940, SP, amended, and Form 940 Schedule R, employer's annual FUTA tax return. The 8974 for qualified small business research credit. The 943, employer's annual federal tax return for agricultural employees. The 944, employer's annual federal tax return. The 945, the annual return of WH Fed income tax reported on forms 1099 and W2G. The 941X, adjusted employer's quarterly federal tax return or claim for refund. We also support Affordable Care Act forms, such as the 1094 and 1095B for health coverage, the 1094 and 1095C for employer-provided health insurance offer and coverage, withholding certificates such as the W-9, which is a request for taxpayer identification number and certification, and the W-8BEN, certificate for foreign status of beneficial owner for United States tax withholding and reporting for individuals. Total tax compliance. TaxBandits offers a complete solution for IRS tax compliance that includes federal filing and state filing with reconciliation forms available and corrections. We do offer TIN matching, which ensures the accuracy and reduces the risk of forms being rejected for a mismatched TIN. We do also have multiple recipient copy solutions, such as postal mailing, where TaxBandits prints and mails form copies from a SOC 2 certified facility and performs USPS validation to verify the recipient mailing address is correct. We also offer Bandit Share, which is a secure online access via our portal, which allows your recipients to access their forms anytime, anywhere for years to come. And the third option is Bandit Complete, which is a comprehensive solution that combines both postal mailing and online access so that you will make sure that your recipients receive their forms one way or the other. So some of the tips for getting started this tax season are to start as soon as possible. You want to go ahead and get everything in your account set up, and that way you are ready to go when January gets here. Now is the time to go ahead and tie up any loose ends before you begin the filing process. So we do have a full support team here so that you can get everything set up in your account, and if you have any questions, we are happy to help you answer those. So you also want to get organized and organize your employee information. So you want to gather their accurate details, including social security numbers, addresses, any changes in employment status throughout the year. You want to review your contractor data. So you want to ensure that you have up-to-date information for your contractors. You want to start reaching out to those, getting their taxpayer identification numbers or their EINs, and make sure that those are set up and good to go in your TaxBandits account. You want to go ahead and verify your Form W-9. So you can request your W-9 forms from your contractors to collect essential tax information if you don't already have it, and guarantee that accuracy in your filings. Update your payroll records and confirm that your payroll records are accurate and they reflect any adjustments, bonuses, and benefits that you've provided your employees during the tax year. We also just want to give you some tips to get started. And what we always recommend is to go ahead and bring your data over to your TaxBandits account. And you can do that using our manual entry, which that is the simplest and easiest option if you're only filing a handful of forms or just for yourself. We also offer a bulk entry if you plan to file more than a handful of forms or for multiple business. This is a really good option for you. So you can choose to bulk upload businesses or recipient information to your address book, or you can bulk upload form data when you start to enter your filing. You can also integrate your accounting software with TaxBandits. We are partnered with Sage Intacct. We also are integrated with QuickBooks Online, Xero, FreshBooks, and Zoho Books. Another challenge is collecting TINs. Collecting important tax information from vendors and independent contractors is a challenge and can be time-consuming, often requiring a long paper trail. With our W-9 manager, you can easily request Form W-9 electronically. Recipients can complete, e-sign, and submit Form W-9 in minutes via a secure portal. TIN matching is available to ensure these are correct before you e-file. And this is a secure option for storing this information and using as needed to file 1099s at the year end. Another challenge is scheduling IRS tax payments. Scheduling and tracking IRS tax payments can be tedious, and if you have a lot of other responsibilities on your plate, you're not going to remember to do that every single time. Forgetting deposits can be a result of unwanted penalties, and it does happen. EFTPS is our answer to that. TaxBandits simplifies IRS tax payments for small business owners with an easy EFTPS registration process, enabling you to schedule, track payments, and receive notifications. Distributing copies is another challenge that we really wanted to tackle. The challenge is mailing all recipient copies is costly and is time consuming. If you email recipients a copy, it doesn't meet the IRS compliance requirement for electronic delivery of forms. But our answer to that is that TaxBandits will print and mail all of your recipient copies from a SOC 2 certified facility. BanditShare is a paperless solution that allows you to give recipients secure access to their forms online via a portal. Bandit Complete ensures compliance by providing your recipients with both a physical and an electronic copy. Record keeping is also a big issue that we hear about on support, and maintaining accurate records of all the forms you filed is crucial in case of an audit. With TaxBandits, you store all copies of the forms you file in your account for up to 7 years. The activity log provides a record of all filing activities in your account. I'm going to go ahead and show you a quick demo for the 1099 flow, and I'll be right back.
So from your dashboard, you're going to click Start New Form and choose 1099 NEC from the dropdown. Now you'll need to add your payer. You can do this manually, entering all the information here if there are no payers in your account already. If you have a payer in your account already, you can select them from your address book. Then same for the recipient. You can add them if they're not in your account already, or we can just select them for the address book for this business. Once you've entered all your payer and recipient information, you can add an account number if you wish, or if not, we'll auto-generate that for you. You can also indicate by checking this box if the IRS has notified you twice within 3 calendar years that the recipient provided an incorrect TIN. If not, just leave it unchecked. Then we'll move on to the actual content of the form, entering non-employee compensation and checking if the payer made direct sales totaling $5,000 or more of consumer products to the recipient for resale. If not, just leave this unchecked. Enter any federal income tax withheld. And if you wish to add state information, just select your state from the drop-down. Enter any state income tax withheld. The state number will be automatically added here, and the state income will pull from box 1. You can add another state, save this form as a draft and come back to it later, save and add another 1099 NEC, or save and continue to filing. On this page, you can view and edit information, add more 1099s, export this form as either a PDF or a CSV for review, and if you wish to share it via our Bandit Connect client portal, you can do that here. For more information about this, check the video in the description. Then we'll continue to state filing. Since we added South Carolina state information, that all shows up here. You can review it. And all the state instruction information will show up here. So if you need to do anything else, it will show up here too. We'll continue to form distribution. Here you have 4 options. With the Bandit Complete package, TaxBandits will both provide online access to recipient copies to your recipient and postal mail them a physical copy. We can also only postal mail them a physical copy or only provide them with online access. Your final option is to print and mail yourself, where you take full responsibility for downloading, printing, and mailing the recipient their copy of the form. For today, we'll stick with Bandit Complete and continue to audit. Your form will now be checked for common errors. If any errors are found, you can easily correct them by clicking on the buttons. Since nothing was found today, we'll continue to form summary. On this page, you can edit and add more forms, or schedule filing for a date in the future if you wish. If you leave this empty, it will just be automatically transmitted. Click Proceed to checkout. Now you'll see an itemized breakdown of the order details for each of the services you selected. Then click Complete Your Order to move on. Acknowledge our credit card usage statement, and you can select a credit card if it's already in your account, or add a new card if you don't have one or want to add another. Confirm that you have the authority to use this credit card, and click Pay and Transmit. And that's it. Stay tuned for email updates on the status of the form, and if you go back to the dashboard for this business, you can view information about it in the Submitted tab.
Welcome back. So this is the Q&A section of our day, and if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put those in the chat now. I see that a few have already asked some questions, so we'll just give everyone just a moment to go ahead and get their questions in there. Oh, here's a good one. What payment methods are available to pay the 941 taxes due? Okay. Well, with TaxBandits, we actually have 4 different options. So you can choose to pay using a credit or a debit card, and that can either be through TaxBandits or you can do it through the IRS website. If it's less than $2,500, you can do it directly through TaxBandits. If it's more than that, you can do it through irs.gov/payments. We also offer EFTPS, which we just discussed, directly through TaxBandits, and we will, if you choose that method, we will automatically give you a link to go back over to the TaxBandits EFTPS page and get that set up so it's all in one place and you don't have to track down your payment and things like that. Our third option is EFW, or electronic funds withdrawal, where you put in your account information and your routing number into the form flow and the IRS receives that directly. and then they will withdraw the funds directly from your account. And the final option is check or money order, where you will be given a voucher and you can send that in with your check or your money order directly to the IRS. Can you file previous quarters for 941? Yes, you can. TaxBandits does support the current tax year plus 2 prior tax years. And so you can go back at least to that point. We currently support 2024 as well as 2023 and 2022 for all 4 quarters. The 4th quarter for 2024 is not quite available yet, but it will be very soon. And you'll be able to file that then as well. Can you file a 941X? Absolutely, you can. We do support the 941X, and starting in 2024, it can now be e-filed. So we do support the e-filing of a 941X, but for previous tax years, for 23 and 22, we do still support the filing or the paper download version like we did before. That is all the time we have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, please feel free to go ahead and leave that in the chat, and we will answer those via email. Our support team will be there again to help with anything you need. So please give us a call at 704-684-4751 or email us at support@taxbandits.com.